Welcome to another awesome episode of the Imagination Podcast. Here today with me, I have Jared, the host, of course, and we have some great new, exciting people on the panel. Introducing
Johnny Ray, strategic planner.
Jeremy Hart, visual effect artist.
Angie, 3D artist.
Ruben, 3D artist.
Great, glad to have you guys here tonight. Hope you all had an awesome weekend. Mine was pretty exciting and enduring. Got to go rollerblading. That was awesome. So let's talk about some new Indie Assault build updates. How did everyone like Rin's brand new aerial attacks?
They're a lot of fun to use. They're pretty powerful, and I'm very, very proud since I designed them. So
Nice. I really like the back one. Even though it might not show correctly, I like the back aerial.
yeah, the back aerials are really cool because she kind of does this like back karate kick.
Just like this like flame, it almost looks like the bird thing.
Yeah,
It's, like,
yeah.
it's really like
Falcon kick.
wide particle, you know.
Yeah, they look really cool. Even though I didn't get to test those ones, I definitely have to try those out this week.
Yeah. So, how do you guys feel about her weight? I know we had some issues with Rin being a heavier character, even though we all know she's super damn light. Anyone feel feedback
Yeah,
on
we
that?
really need to lighten her up. I mean, she feels way too heavy for her attack strength.
Oh.
Because like she does light damage and a lot of time multiple damage, and for her to be as heavy as she is right now, it feels a little odd.
Mm-hmm. To me, she just falls a lot faster, almost like Haley did in the very beginning.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone else feels kind of like Mario falling in the SS4, while she feels like Bowser falling.
Pretty much.
But she doesn't land like Bowser. She lands like Sheik, and it just feels weird.
Ah,
Just like, I'm here.
bring it. All right, so big question in the house. Knowing this is a party game, how did everyone like the revised burst icon? Did it help stand out in the HUD, even though it's ginormous?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I liked it being bigger.
I don't like it being bigger, but I think it stood out a lot more to me visually as
Yeah.
compared to just like an orange outline.
Yeah, because
It felt like
before,
purple before.
before you could barely even tell that it was there. A lot of times I'd be like, why am I not burst? Oh, when I used it.
Definitely having the darkened outline really helped distinguish it from the background. All right, the fun part. Beside Alobit, we were missing the back one. How did everyone like the revised graphic designs for the menus?
They look pretty slick.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I was like, oh, the random button looks great.
Yes. I love the new random. It's just so
It's not
vibrant.
stretched too. It looks awesome. Before it was like, on the characters.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
The only thing is I would like the button, if instead of it auto-selecting your character, is if it just sat on the random button like it does in Smash Bros. Because PlayStation All-Stars, the random button, it just auto-selects your character so it doesn't feel as random. You can be like, oh no, I don't want this guy.
Yeah. I want to find out when the stage starts.
I think it was a technical limitation, but that would be diagnosed more for the beta. But from a technical limitation, I'm pretty sure it was what our last program could do. Any other thoughts on the build feedback from last week? Any?
Well, it looks like got the issue fixed with Rin's the neutral special, and also like how
We did, but we have not tested the 4-player Rin match
Oh,
we
right.
need to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like
Which will
how
be this Wednesday.
I also like how the voice through the countdown was deeper. I think that sounds cool.
Sundeath is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like engage. Time's up. Yeah, much improved. Great job, Johnny and Waylon. All right, our next hotly discussed topic: Volgar the Viking. All right, thoughts on Volgar being an included character or playable character in Indie Assault?
That game is really hard, and so it's hard to get through the game. But we can have a lot of fun with him. He does a lot of stuff.
I think he would be a good fit.
Quite popular character indeed. I've noticed.
I mean, I got it free on Xbox One. I played a little bit of it. I didn't get too far into it, but definitely seemed like we could really draw from a lot from it.
Mhm.
Didn't seem like it would be too difficult to create a moveset.
Yeah, seems like a cool character, and the style of game is pretty cool. It's like kind of like the old Sega games.
Of your Great. Well, my inclusion, I want to say yes. A masochistic Viking, I'm down. Any other thoughts, team? Yes or no? As to you feel he'd be a great asset to include?
I'm down.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Okay, then.
In school, he would kind of be like Titus, but he has the throws if you implement the spears,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and maybe use a shield if he could like bump people with a shield or something.
Okay, yeah, like a shield bash.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the lines of like he'd play kind of like Leonidas from 300.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We have to give him the Sparta kick for his.
Where's dash attack?
Or like for his taunt, like you know how Luigi and Smash can like do his taunt. And he
Oh, yeah,
just
there's a little
kicks?
kick. Yeah,
Yeah,
you hit people with it.
just him just like rearing back and like kicking with his taunt.
Definitely can see that. I think, as I said, like he's highly popular, and definitely, I know Dave Jaffe like has a huge fondness. That team actually sent him like a 64 cartridge with like a USB drive in it, so they're pretty all down with like the old school gaming. So it's a possibility, you know. A lot of people have talked about our game being a throwback to games from its art style. So sure, if you think it's an older style, even though it's 3D and it's super polygon intensive, warrior game definitely. Moving on to the third topic of tonight, Grim, character inclusion for Indie Assault. Any thoughts on that character, guys?
Aesthetically, he's very different, which could be interesting. I was like looking over his Steam page and stuff, but I'm not sure if like he would fit well with the other indie characters. Is my only thing.
Yeah. I kind of felt like he might have kind of like a Wario essence if I'm gonna try to do something like that, but it might be kind of intensive to pull off. So I don't know, just
All right, when I toss my hat in the ring, how does the team feel about the character being overtly controversial? Knowing that well in strains that American McGee's been quite controversial as of late, having, you know, made Kickstarters that have got overly funded and then never delivered on them.
I don't know. I
Thoughts
didn't-
on that?
Yeah, I mean, I played like American McGee's Alice, and that game was amazing. It was really good, really dark, but I mean,
Or about him working his employees literally to death.
yeah,
Maybe that might be an exaggeration, but
yeah,
that's what I've heard.
yeah, but I mean, then you just have to think of like, oh yeah, I'll license my character. Okay, hey, here's the latest build. Yeah, sorry, I'm too busy. I have other things to do. You know, it would be one of those kind of things I would feel where we wouldn't be able to communicate as well.
With them, yeah. I could agree. I mean, he is over in Japan, one of the few U.S.-based, what can I say, American video game developers over in Japan. So him speaking both languages, I mean, would be a benefit, but I don't know, you know, how the community would feel. So now, like, they're asking for all these like crazy ass magazines, but I just don't know.
Yeah, we do seem to have a wide range of requests for the characters.
We do.
Yeah, there's a ton of characters that I've seen, and there's a lot that I'm just like, who?
Yeah.
So, basically, my final thought for it, I want to say no. I just feel it's not really a self-distinguishing enough character, and also just due to their own studios. What is their studio's name? I really don't know. It's a really weird name, but their studios frequent community relations and just
Was it like Spicy Horse or something?
Was it that one or is it different? I don't know. We were
it
looking
might have
at
been
a
like
couple of
Spicy
different-
Horse, or just like their overall treatment of the community. I think it would reflect negatively on us, especially like if anyone's seen Rise of the Indies, which we talked about several podcasts back. I feel like they'd throw him in that movie and be like, oh, he's a hipster / you know, guy who can overpromise and not deliver. That's how I feel.
Yeah. For me, it's just the aesthetic. I don't think it would fit as well. I'm gonna have to say no. I just with the characters that we have, I wouldn't want to have to tone down someone's indie character or not be true to them. So that's why I would have to say no.
Any thoughts, Jeremy?
Yeah, I guess I agree.
Angie, Ruben, final thought on the topic?
I can't see Grim being in the game.
Angie? Any thoughts, Ruben?
Well, yeah, it probably wouldn't be as much of a fit.
Okay. All right, very well. Moving on, let's talk about Meat Boy's character inclusion in India Salt. Oh, who wants to kick us off? Ruben, you know, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't know what kind of whoops. It just kind of jumps and leaves blood everywhere. But
Think of that rig, man. Oh, man. Squishing and balling. Oh, man. Was that in a-
Oh no! I mean, it'd be so cool since he's so big, he's so popular, but making a moveset would be really hard, and that would probably bump us up from like E10 to T, just like blood.
Yeah.
I mean, since it's not like gory blood, it's like buy meat at a store blood. It's not like gore, but still bloody.
Yeah.
So, and I could just imagine that call from like Galaxy Trail. Hey, so why is Dragon Valley completely covered in blood? In where's the building guy? And we'd be like, Meat Boy. I mean, Gauntlet Showdown, that'd be fine. Imperium City, I don't think blood everywhere would work there, at least not red blood.
Be more like the Resident Evil, like down in Raccoon City, but yeah, I get you.
Maybe if we made a way to like burn Meat Boy and he's cooked and then he won't be bleeding so much. But then that defeats the purpose of the character.
just make
Well
him a
done,
meatball.
Meat Boy.
And also, I think a hotly debated topic is, how is Meat Boy? Is he more of like a thin like French toast? Because before we actually tried concepting the character and we did like this French toast Meat Boy, but like my thought is almost like a bagel. Like I don't, how would his like overall aesthetic be? Would it be like a saucer? Would it be like a loaf?
I've seen like 3D art of him that they like mocked up for Smash Bros. And he's like a giant cube of meat. Like think if you put like a bunch of meat into like a big ice cube tray, that's what he looked like. So, also another thing, I don't think that we'd want to mention a character called Dr. Fetus. That'd just be like,
But we gotta have Bandage Girl, man. Like Bandage Girl comes before his Blitz Assault. Dun, 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 dun.
I think it'd be so much fun.
He would be so
Yeah.
cool.
I do. For the sake of voting, I say yes. I think if Team Meat, was interested in having him in Smash, I mean, I think we could see, we could have talks and definitely be open, to seeing what creative liberties they'd be open to with their character.
Yeah, for me, I'd say yes as long as we wouldn't have him leaving a blood trail, and we wouldn't incorporate any blood into his attacks. If he could just be Meat Boy without blood, I'd be totally fine.
Cool.
That's Jeremy.
I'd be all for it. I'm very curious to see like how big he'd be, like in India Assault, because he's
Oh,
pretty
'cause he's so
pretty
tiny.
small in the
He'd be
game.
pretty tiny, like a Kirby size,
Okay.
I would think.
But yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Any thoughts, Ruben, Angie? What do you
I
want to
was
say,
more
Ruben?
thinking no.
No.
Well, I don't know. Just kind of see what moveset it could possibly
3 to
have
1.
within-
The balance hinges on you. What do you think?
Your vote doesn't matter, but go ahead.
Well, you got yes, and yes.
I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be like a fun character, but I don't know.
So you don't see good moves. Okay. Understandable, man. Let's go to our next topic of tonight: video game to movie conversions. With video game movies making a comeback, do you believe that it can be entertaining and, more importantly, exist as a movie that doesn't need to rely on previous fans? For example, let's talk about our guy here, Johnny's favorite movie, Corpse Party. What do you think, Johnny?
Well, I saw the trailer to the movie, and it looks nothing like the game whatsoever. It looks more like Cloverfield. as opposed to like a tense survival horror. So it's just like not fitting in with the style of the game, which throws me. Which it could maybe be good for a general audience, but it's one of those that'll piss off fans.
This is like Cloverfield. That's a no. Hated that movie. Sorry, it just absolutely did not go for that. Oh, I'm running down this black tunnel with my camera.
You should have seen his face as soon as I said Cloverfield. His smile just disappeared.
Yeah. Well, I'm not too familiar with some of the movies I haven't seen of it, but like as far as you're talking about, like kind of depending on having a previous with the fan base, I kind of feel like that's sort of part of it because that's kind of their market. Like some of the game movies might not stand alone without people knowing about it.
Well, yeah, notwithstanding, but like as far as like, how do you feel on the panel as to like how it can get a new audience? Like, you know, casual. Think of like Destiny's live action trailer as an example. How do you feel if like having that live action, you know, brings in new fans that aren't straight up FPS MMO kind of, you know?
Well, I guess it kind of depends on what like they're going for because, you know, I think I'd mentioned something like this before about like there's always going to be, you know, fans, and if they have expectations to be close to the storyline, if they're going for that, or if they're going for a different market that doesn't have to do with the gamers, then they might do a different approach to give it some other kind of aesthetically, you know, for it to just be like appealing as a movie without, like, I don't know, maybe if they're going a different direction, or because it's kind of, I don't know, it seemed like
This just gets out of the
Well, like if you look at Silent Hill, like the first Silent Hill movie was really good. It still felt like Silent Hill because it was still had that tense mystery to it. But the second Silent Hill was just a gross up movie. It was just like, oh, we're cooking out human flesh and just stuff that didn't feel silent.
more like Hostel? That sounds more like Hostel than a Silent Hill movie.
Exactly. Or the Resident Evil, like the first Resident Evil, okay, it felt like Resident Evil. It was a different plot line, but it was cool.
Really cool.
But then after that, we started getting more into their main character's story, where she's like this super clone and just basically turns into the Matrix eventually.
Yeah.
I was pretty confused with that whole thing.
I'm like, oh cool, Wesker's in here, and then he's in the volcano. Oh, Jill's in here at the post-credit scene. So, personally, I think it can be done well as long as they tackle it in a certain way. Because if they try to make it overly like a video game, then it becomes corny. But if they try to differentiate it way too much from the video game, we get Super Mario Bros. The movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they do it well, or else it's might be kind of more cheesy. It's kind of, at least through history of video game movies, have been.
Oh yeah, like Mortal Kombat.
I like Mortal Kombat. It was the first one was.
The first one was decent.
The second one was awful.
Oh, that was god awful with its ugly CGI and like why was Reptile this giant like lizard chameleon thing?
The ones we have listed here seem low risk as to what I'm expecting, but let's continue tracking on this. So with me, I really like Prince of Persia. I thought it was well played. They had really good casting choices, and I felt like it was a genuinely good story. Jared Bruckheimer, I felt, really nailed the concept with what he was going for with that movie. Resident Evil, I liked. I felt like it was just all action. I felt like that's what it should have been viewed as. What's another like a more deeper one that I didn't really?
Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie.
That one I liked, but I felt like it felt more on character development than actually on her being an archaeologist. Like, I mean, they dabbled with that, you know, in like the tombs and stuff, but it wasn't like their forte of like, oh, this is it. Like, I felt National Treasure was more Tomb Raider than Tomb Raider was in the movie.
Yeah.
Did you see the animated Resident Evil movie? It's a CGI degeneration.
I saw like trailers to it, but I didn't.
That
actually
was pretty
see it.
cool.
Well, I mean, it had Leon Kennedy, And I mean, like the other ones never even had him. They always had like Chris or Jill,
Yeah.
which cool, but I mean Leon's cooler.
Do you want to talk about some more of these bigger mainstream movies, like the Assassin's Creed or the World of Warcraft movies? Because I think those, next summer, I think even though World of Warcraft has other fans, I think, everyone that's seen Lord of the Rings will go to it. Like,
Yeah,
I feel it has that.
Because World of Warcraft, I mean it's one of those games that everyone knows about.
Yeah.
Plus, it has the fantasy aesthetic
Backdrop.
that anyone can hop into. You don't have to be a fan of World of Warcraft.
It's kind of funny as I remember other people talking about the movie, like how they're gonna try to do that correctly, like with the scaling, because it might look cheesy if they have 2 huge shoulder pads or something.
I just think they should just extend the episode of South Park. Just make Love Not Warcraft.
Yeah.
Just like that. Bunch of kids playing Warcraft. Get sucked into the game. Because like an Assassin's Creed movie, they've done CGI ones before, so I'm not sure if they'd like do a retelling of a story or make it its own.
Who did they have for that role?
It was still
Who was Magneto, people? Community tell us.
Oh.
Who was Magneto from the X-Men movies?
Was the same guy that played on Star Trek?
Oh, I don't know this guy's
Was it?
name, but he's such a good actor.
It wasn't Picard. That was
No, it was the same guy that plays in Lord of the Rings
No,
as Gandalf.
No.
Am I thinking of someone else?
Yeah, it's the guy who was in Jonah Hex. I've seen that.
I have no idea.
What is his name? The X-Men movie, Magneto.
Like the older, like the past one or the future one, I guess.
No, the future.
Okay.
Those ones. We should totally Google this, guys.
Yeah, but right.
But
Moving on.
that guy that they have picked as the lead runner for Assassin's Creed, I think they can really do a great job with him in that pivotal role. They just have to have a good story. I don't think they should use the Nemesis as much as they should do more of a century-based Assassin's Creed. That's how I feel.
Yeah, because the Animus is pretty much like an afterthought nowadays in the newer Assassin's Creeds. Like in Assassin's Creed Unity, it's like you start up the game and it's just, oh, yeah, so you're a guy playing a game. I'm like, wow, this is getting meta. But, I mean, I'm knowing Ubisoft, let's hope that it's just a tie-in movie and not a retelling, because try to condense any one of the Assassin's Creeds into an hour and a half. That's a daunting task right there. Unless they just have an unnecessary montage somewhere. And even going forward, Five Nights at Freddy's is getting a movie.
Yeah.
Why?
It's got a huge fan base. They just jumped on board.
Still.
But it's almost like watching the game.
Yeah.
how to-
It's like watching
already-
someone play the game. The YouTubers do that already.
It's gonna be like a short film or a full.
No,
Sure.
it's a Hollywood film. Like the same guys that did the Poltergeist remake are going to be doing this.
So it might be really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how can they have them an hour and a half? Or,
So Michael Fassbender, that's the guy that's going to make that movie succeed for Assassin's Creed. Continue with your...
Yeah. So like Five Nights. Would the animatronics be CGI or would they be animatronics?
or they wear
They should
it's
get
like a
guys
straight
who
up
did the
Chuck E.
Underworld
Cheese
movies.
outfit. Like,
No, they should seriously do the guys who did Underworld. Underworld 1 and 2 were done with real people, real stone actors. If they did it like that, I feel it'd be more intense and more
Yeah,
more
because I mean, them being CGI.
then just CG. I mean, it's great. We have some pretty badass animators in Hollywood, but
I mean, to make them look like animatronics, it'd be
And
cool
if-
if they were animatronics.
and because it'd be super hard walking in that outfit. So I mean, just it would be more natural. I feel.
Yeah. And I wonder if it would be like I said with Assassin's Creed, a tie-in or a retell. Because, I mean, if they finally just explain what happens in the first freaking location, Fazbear's Pizza, or Fazbear's Family Restaurant, that would be cool. Because they've never even used that location in the games. They just mentioned it. I thought I just want to see Springtrap in full glory on the big screen.
I don't even know what they'll do with that. Just
Oh no, it's just like an hour and a half of jump scares.
That just sounds boring.
It'd be scary for the first like 10 minutes, and then you're just like frustrated.
Yeah.
Stop it.
PewDiePie should, either Monica Kepler or PewDiePie should be like leading role in there. All YouTuber cast.
That's what he's talking about. For anyone that doesn't know who PewDiePie is, it's a hit YouTuber.
Who doesn't know who PewDiePie is?
There are some geeks out there that may not know that. God knows.
He's on South Park too now, so
Dang.
fan base went from like 30 million to
Wow.
he's got a huge fan base.
It is
That was an amazing trilogy.
Alright, let's go into the next topic of the evening. Party, or otherwise known as couch co-op gaming expectations and players. Let's toss in a thought-provoking question here to the panel. When you get together with friends to play a couch co-op experience, are you expecting something more in line, like Lord of the Rings War in the North, that's more of like an RPG, or something more accessible, like Mario Party or Super Smash Bros? Any thoughts?
I think everything's leaning towards like the party games, like Mario Party and Smash Brothers and everything.
Yeah, because keeping the attention of multiple people at once is a lot harder. Like, me and my buddy will start playing Borderlands, and I get way bored before he does. Because he'll, like, pop in with his, like, level 60 character, I'm, like, level 20, and he just is killing everything. I'm like, I'm done. But when we're playing something like Smash Bros. Or Mario Party, everything's quick. Something's always happening. So it's easier to keep everyone's focus.
So you feel that shorter burst of duration of it, like entertainment or gaming, is better for a bigger crowd?
For like the couching?
Yeah, from like a couch or, local experience.
Yeah, unless they have like they could do some first person shooters, but now everything's going to like even when it's console, you still can't do split screen for a lot of the new games, so they're kind of like forcing it.
Yeah, because, 4 people on the shooter, it's difficult because, I remember back in the day, the old giant Xbox, you'd have Halo with 4 people, and there was one time I was playing in this tournament, and there was a sign that said, if you are caught screen watching, we will stomp your nuts.
They get serious, yeah.
So, and also it's just harder to make everything out. That's why the party games are great, because usually you're all sharing one screen. Like Super Smash Bros, everyone's on one screen. Mario Party, usually on one screen. There's a couple mini games, so no one hop on and be like, but in this mini game, or Mario Party 7. No, I understand.
There was a first person shooter on Steam that was built around screen watching. I can't remember what it's called, but it looks really cool. Like you're like everyone's invisible, and you just gotta look at other people's screen to
It's
figure out
called
what
Screen
they
Cheat.
There you go, yeah. I think that's a good example of a good way to do like a first person shooter is to play on that.
I guess it kind of depends, like if you want to do a campaign mode or like do something more co-op. Because to me, like Smash Brothers, like it's different if you're like trying to do like a task together versus just like
Brawling.
yeah. So I guess it kind of depends on what kind of experience you want. But I guess if there's not really too many games like that anymore, then it's like more towards the Smash Brothers and the Mario parties and
Nintendo.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Nintendo. They're like, you can play 8 players on our console. What? Sing Party, you can play an infinite number of people.
Great.
That's crazy.
That leads into the next part of the question. Why and how do you feel that style of gaming can best be replicated with its current or next-gen platforms? Ruben or Angie, want to take a stab at it?
Well, like playing with other people never gets old.
Yeah, but like, how do you feel it can be like best implemented or like best experience? Do you think like the Kinect is better for now, like couch co-op, or do you think it's the traditional like controller keyboard now?
Like, what's better?
Yeah, like what do you think like developers or like the community at large prefers? So there's like multiple people. What do they want to use? Do they want to use controllers? Or do they want to all like dance or use the Move, the
Or like the Move, or
like the Move, the Kinect?
It's
I guess it just more depends on the style they prefer. gamers if they want to be more just not as actively moving around, or if it's like too many players and it's more crowded. I don't know.
I think it largely depends on the game you're playing, because like playing House of the Dead is like one of my favorite like 2-player games. And I had it on Wii and PlayStation 3, and like me and my buddy tried playing it with PS3 controllers, and we're like, this is garbage. But we played with Wii remotes and Move controllers, and we had a blast.
Oh yeah.
While Smash Bros. Playing it with a Wii remote is garbage.
I play 3 remote. I just get used to it. I don't know. I play with it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like the Wii U Pro controller with Smash best. Even more so than the GameCube controller. I know I'll be crucified for that, but
I think that's a great question you brought up. I think in my mind with light gun shooters, I think that they're being phased out because I feel almost like Power Stone is being implemented into other genres and being merged with like, you know, a traditional FPS where like there'll just be a very short section where like you're manning a damn turret and you're just like and you're basically just doing a light gun game but with the thumbstick. That's kind of how I feel like the interpretation of its evolution is.
yeah, because those games they don't sell as well.
They don't sell as well, but it's very sublime or very straightforward experience. It's like, you know, you have an hour, you have 45 minutes, and that's the entire game. Time Crisis Racing, so like boom, you know, go. Like, you know, I mean, there are those indie games that are like that, you know, like.
Yeah.
But
Like like going to Chuck E. Cheese, Dave and Buster's, wherever. The light gun games are usually the ones I play, like House of the Dead or the Jurassic Park version of House of the Dead. That one is so legit.
so old.
I want it on my PS3 or my Wii. You know what? Put it on the Wii eShop. I will buy it. I mean, me and my dad. I was me being like 6 at a Chuck E. Cheese playing that. Those are some of my like fondest memories right there. You know, those like are the old arcade style games. They just don't make them anymore as much unless it's an indie team. Because like latest Pac-Man game's a platformer with beat 'em up and mixed in. It's not, you know, eat the pellets.
So they said, you know, like it's just the evolution of gaming. I mean, you know, if you look at Borderlands, you know, it merged it together, and I think it's a huge success.
Oh yeah, Borderlands is awesome because it's FPS with RPG.
Yeah, and I think Battleborn has the same potential to do.
Battleborn's just Borderlands.
No, it's like isn't it MOBA or something going in a different direction, like making it more accessible or something, or is it strictly MOBA?
No idea.
I don't know.
Because I've been reading that they're trying to make it step away from the MOBA and incorporate other elements. Because if they can do that, I think it'll be a big success. I mean, if you're just going to be another MOBA, I mean, I think that's just, you know, oh, okay, we're another MOBA.
To me, it just looks like Borderlands. Because
How's it Borderlands? It's like all cartoony,
yeah,
like strange magic.
yeah, but it's a different art style, yes. But I've been watching gameplay and stuff because I work at GameStop. I've seen it playing. I'm like, oh, so it's Borderlands. Cool.
It is first person, I do believe.
It's first person RPG elements set in a zany world. It's Borderlands. It's
Okay.
just Borderlands.
It's
Looney
Borderlands.
Tunes version.
You gotta hear it first, community. Borderlands is redubbed as Battleborn. Don't let anyone know. It's our exclusive secret for you.
I do think that they should attempt to try to make some of those maybe like for like as a throwback of people that do like those classic games, but still like do it in a way that can be, I don't know, next gen and still fun and relevant. It's like, I guess it's, people haven't really done that in a while.
Downloads.
Oh,
Just
that's
download
it.
games. That's what they're kind of regulated to now. I mean, imagine paying $60 for a light gun game. Yeah, unless it's like House of the Dead 1 through 4 and Overkill, I'd be like, no. Redone completely in HD.
Remastered.
No, not remastered, redone.
Okay.
Start from scratch.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not, oh, look, that arcade game from the 90s is now in HD.
It's got a nicer, shinier texture. They now have applied a specular map to that.
Yeah.
2000 polygon character. Alright, so, you guys ready for the big announcement of the night?
Oh, yes.
All right, so community, we've been estranged. We've been working our butts off for you guys. We have not been slacking off. That's the great news. So we're here finally going to be announcing the release date for NDSL on new Steam Early Access. We're going to be coming June 30th, the end of this month. It will be Tuesday, and we can't wait for you guys to jump in with us and get some gaming on, and more importantly, be able to cherish and play it over the July 4th weekend. So thank you guys for everything, for voting us onto Steam, and we are so damn happy to be bringing this awesome experience to you, because we have a lot in store for you guys post the alpha release. So in closing, I just want to say thanks for listening to our terrific podcast. If there are any other topics, feel free to reach out to me or Johnny anytime. We'd love to hear from you guys if there's anything you particularly want us to talk about or a subject that you want us to elaborate on. As always, be sure to subscribe, of course, here on Imagination Vet for our YouTube channel. Like us at Imagination Vet INC on Facebook. Follow at IndieAssault or at Imagination Vet on Twitter. And guys, stay awesome. And last wishes, team.
Have a good summer.
Okay.
No wishes for you.
All right.
Have a wonderful summer.
Must be in a bad mood. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't get enough chocolate donuts tonight.
We're better than J-Star's Victory Plus.
Whoa! Boom, burn. Guess it's a PS4 game, so wow, crazy. Thanks for that compliment, team. All right, stay tuned for our next episode. Johnny, wrap us out.
Alrighty. Stay tuned. Come on, tell us anything that you want us to talk about, as long as it's appropriate. I mean, come on, guys. And we can't wait to show you more developments.
Later.
This is when you say like brick.
Brick.
Freak.
Brick.